Healing a piercing during COVID-19. Going to give you some hints, a little bit of information, and some of the things that you should be concerned about and not concerned about. Coming up next on Body Piercing Basics, episode number 72. So stick around. For those that are new to the channel, welcome. My name is DaVo. I'm a professional body piercer and have been since 1994. I own and operate the Axiom Body Piercing Studio located here in fabulous Des Moines, Iowa, inside Skin Kitchen Tattoo. So when I talk to you about these things, I'm talking to someone who has over 26 years of experience and calling on that knowledge in research and etc. to qualify that. Also, because I own a really big phone. So what we're going to talk about today, and it's been coming up on a regular basis, and I'm about 3 weeks into piercing with the new things that are going on and COVID-19 and opening up again. And I thought it'd be interesting to do a video here to kind of talk about maybe some of the concerns you have about getting pierced during this period of time and healing out the piercing. I already did one about piercing during. If you haven't watched that already, check it out. I'll try to remember to leave a link in the description and one of them there cards. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break this into kind of two parts. The first part's going to cover the risks that are involved with healing and piercing out during this. And the second part, I'm going to talk about some of the things that you should do as added precautions on top of your normal aftercare during this period of time to avoid infection or other problem. So let's start out with the risk. Is there a lot of risk involved with getting pierced during this period of the possibility? Is there a risk of catching COVID? Is there a risk to having a longer healing period, etc.? Not really. The first thing you need to understand is that whenever you get pierced, it does tax your immune system. So it may make you slightly more acceptable to contracting the virus. It does kind of depreciate your immune system a little bit, but not to a major part where I would really be overly concerned. You would have the same effect if you got in a car wreck or and maybe had some lacerations or cuts that are going to take a little while to heal, something that may need stitches. I don't think you're going to be at a higher risk, but you should understand that, especially if you have immune deficiency disorders or some type of problem with your immune system, you're going to be more prone to infection and more prone to catching the virus than your average person. And adding on to that would be getting pierced. This is a respiratory virus. It is not bloodborne. A lot of people have been concerned about having an open wound and catching COVID through that open wound. That's probably not going to happen. Most of the research I've done, and I'm basically, you have to understand, we're still early in this whole thing. They don't know everything yet, but from everything I've read, this does not or cannot be transferred through blood. It's not a bloodborne pathogen. It enters your respiratory tract through water droplets and then begins to take over and then can also go down in the digestive tract. So having an open wound is not going to put you at a higher risk for catching the virus than not having an open wound. So now with the risks out of the way, let's talk about what piercings could possibly be impacted by wearing a mask or a face shield. Eyebrow piercings, pretty much all facial piercings. Eyebrow piercings, nostrils, septums, bridge, high nostril, any piercing on the upper lip, including beauty marks, medusas, and etc. Anything on the lower lip, also cheek piercings or dimple piercings. Additionally, because that strap usually goes around your ear, this can affect anything that is on your upper ear, pretty much on the outer area, including upper ear cartilage piercings, forward helixes, industrials, of course, if they're helix to helix, helix piercings, snugs, and even good old-fashioned lobe piercings. So here's some things that we need to talk about. Basically, everybody at some point right now and for the unforeseeable future is having to deal with one of these. They do cover most of those piercing areas. A lot of times we were forced to wear them at work, so there might be an 8-hour to 10-hour period where between your commute and wearing the mask and being out in public and shopping and working, that you have this thing on for 10 or 15 hours. So here's some precautions you should take. The first one is they should be changed with a clean one on a regular basis. I would personally suggest doing that every few hours. The reason being is as you breathe out and in, if you're wearing it for like an hour straight, they start to become very damp. And it's water droplets that are coming out of you, plus everything that you're sucking in. This could create a situation where a lot of microorganisms can begin to grow and multiply and then come in contact with any piercing that you have in the area. The other thing is that we tend to touch things and then put them on, is there could be a way or possibly transferring the contaminants to the part that goes over your ears. So that's something else and another reason why they should be cleaned and changed on a regular basis. Disposable is always best, and it isn't really as expensive as you think it is. They run around, $35 for 50. That could get you through probably on your average, maybe, 10 days for most people if you're working an 8-hour shift. The nice thing about the disposable is you put them on, they're clean. When you're done with them, you take them off, you throw them away. Yeah, there's nothing more to deal with. You don't have to worry about whether or not you properly cleaned it, whether or not you actually disinfected it. They're clean. As long as your hands are washed before you put them on, you should be fine. Always wash your hands before putting on a new mask. This is basically common sense. If you have contaminants on your hands, there's a possibility of transferring it to the mask. This is not only important to avoid the possibility of catching COVID, because it will live on surfaces, but it also is to make sure that you're not transferring any contaminants to it, and then it touches the piercing, and then you have an infection. The cloth ones, if you're using them, they do need to be changed regularly. I always see these people that it seems like they've been wearing them for like 5 days straight. I'm sure it smells fantastic in there, and when it smells like that, that is bacteria and fungi and all kinds of other stuff. They should be changed on a regular basis, and they should be disinfected every time they're used. You should be always putting on a clean one, especially if it comes in contact with the piercing area or the piercing itself. Lastly, on reducing risk, make sure that the piercings are not in direct contact with the mask. Try to make sure the mask is molded. That's what I like about the disposable. You can kind of mold them a little bit and fit them into where they need to be. Make sure there's a limited amount of contact. Be very cautious if you're healing ear piercings when you're putting them on. They can catch, and that doesn't feel terrifically well, or having that elastic band up against an upper ear cartilage, and you don't know it until like halfway through the day. You're like, what is this burning pain in my ear? Just be very cautious when you put it on and try to avoid contact as much as possible. In a lot of ways, a face shield would be a better option, and that's what I'm going to talk about next. If you can get away with it at your work or in your situation, they tend to be hot, they're reflective, they make watch or seeing things kind of a little more difficult, but they're not going to have contact as much with piercings. Really, with a face shield, the only thing I'd be concerned about would be upper ear cartilage piercings because of the elastic band in possibly a nostril piercing. Otherwise, they pretty much just cover the face and they stay away from it. They too should be changed and disinfected on a regular basis because droplets and et cetera do begin to collect on it. There's always a possibility of it coming in contact with the piercing when you remove it or what have you. So they should be changed on a regular basis and disinfected. As far as everything else, you should follow your normal aftercare instructions, including cross-contamination prevention, just like you normally would. That is enough to probably a combination of what I just told you, plus your normal aftercare instructions should be enough to ensure that you don't get an infection or other problem. And lastly, whenever possible, if you have a break or you're not around people or whatever, it's best just to remove the mask and let the area breathe. If their area has a lot of dampness to it, cleaning off the area with just some warm water, gently with some warm water and soap, nothing harsh. I'm not saying use antibacterial and etc., or to actually clean the piercing. Just the general area will kind of reduce the amount of bacteria and other foreign pathogens that are in the area that may have collected, especially as you're breathing into this thing and all the water droplets are forming on your face. So that's all I have to say about this at this point in time. If you have anything to add, please leave a comment. If you have a question concerning this or something else, or you have a hint or what have you, please leave a comment. Part of what our goal here is to build a community where we can share information readily to everybody out there that's interested in body piercing, in tattooing. If you liked the video and you found it informative, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it. I like it when you like it. If you'd like to see more videos with a focus on education about body piercing and tattooing, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you're notified every single time we post a new video. If you like swag, you like t-shirts, you like merch, you like stuff, check out our merch store. We have various different designs, I think about 12 of them, where you can get them in various different products from t-shirts, stickers, tote bags, phone cases, beach towels, you name it, they got it. So check that out. There's a merch bar below the video, and there's also a link there to go directly to the merch store. Till next time, here's hoping all your piercings heal with ease and without a single issue. And if you're in the Des Moines, Iowa area, I hope to see you for your body piercing needs in the future. Have a good day, everybody. Take care of yourself, take care of one another, and be safe so you can continue to watch the channel and get pierced and tattooed. Have a good day.